This is ChestertonRadio.com.
And here's the cinnamon bell.
With Christmas so near at hand, it's hard not to worry about Judy and Jimmy and their search for the silver star. After the bad dolls made off with it, Santa Claus sent a detachment of tin soldiers to the rescue. But the tin soldiers had met with unexpected reversals because the bad dolls were being led by someone never before seen in the snow country, a strange green-colored creature whose identity was unknown. But let's listen to Judy, who seems to have some definite ideas on the subject.
Oh, green? My goodness, that sounds like...
Oh, no, Judy. That just couldn't be possible.
Calling Santa Claus. Calling Santa Claus.
Yes, what is it now?
A Maybeland just received from Queen Melissa of Maybeland. Quote, warning, citizens of Snowland, Santa Claus, Judy, and Jimmy, be on lookout for Wintergreen Witch.
Oh, Jimmy, I was right.
Escaped from Looking Glass Valley, assisted by another witch with black cat tattooed on left elbow. Wintergreen last seen flying over bottomless abyss on broomstick, headed for the snow country. Beware, she is dangerous, unquote.
Oh, dear. Are we going to have trouble with that awful old witch again? I thought Melissa had gotten rid of her for good.
Oh, come, don't get upset, my friends. I think we can take care of the lady. And Nicky, run over to the airport and order them to send out 10 airplanes. And tell them to communicate with me if they need additional men or supplies. And, oh, yes, one more thing, Nicky. I want you to go over there.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what about the,
Oh, that'll be easy. You just tell them.
What goes on here?
You'll find out soon enough, friend Crazy Quilt.
Is that all, Santa Claus?
Yes, I think so, Nicky. You sure you have everything straight?
I think so.
And you'd better hurry. I have a little surprise for Judy and Jimmy, and I'll need you.
Right. I'll be back in a jiffy.
Now, of course, you children may not care for surprises, or do you?
Of course we do, Santa.
Well, if you're sure you do, close your eyes, all of you.
Am I to be included in this, what you think is going to happen, business?
Why, certainly. And Patio Cinnamon, too.
Oh, my. I do hope it's cinnamon buns.
Always thinking of your tummy.
Now, no peeking there, Crazy Quilt. Keep those purple patch eyelids closed tight. Now, I'll take hold of your hand, Judy, and yours, Jimmy.
Well, how about me, Santa? It's dark in here.
In where?
In here. Well, what I mean is it's dark inside me when I got my eyes closed.
Well, you and Crazy Quilt can hang on to Judy and Jimmy's free hands. Just a minute. There we are. We're all set. All right, now. Come along.
My goodness, but this is exciting. Where do you suppose he's taking us?
I've no idea, Judy. Utterly no idea.
Ow! I bumped into a step or something that time. Do we go up, Santa?
Yes, Jimmy, just a few steps. How easy there. Just a few. Take it easy, everybody. Here we are. Now we can all sit down.
Oh, my extra special stuffing. Oh.
What's the matter, Cinnamon Bear? Did you fall?
No, I just sat down where there wasn't anything to sit on, that's all.
Oh, just a minute, Patio Cinnamon. Just a minute. There you are. You comfy?
Yes, thanks. There, that's something like it.
Would it be permissible to open our eyes now, Santa Claus?
Oh, no, not just yet. I'll tell you when. All right, Major Muffy, carry on. You can open your eyes now, and open them wide.
Oh, how beautiful.
Jumping Jim Willikers. Bless my stuffing, what a big haul.
My sainted crazy quilt aunt. I've never seen anything like this.
That great big Christmas tree. Why, it's bigger than the one in the store downtown.
It sure is. Lots bigger. Gee, I have to put my head way back to see the top of it.
And all those colored lights. Why, there must be 1 million of them.
1.5 million to be exact, Judy.
That big domed roof with the lights on it. Would that be made of glass now?
Well, not exactly. Something quite like it, but stronger, more substantial. One of my own inventions.
It's just so beautiful, with all the lovely toys and lights and everything. Well, it just kind of takes your breath away.
You like it, children?
You bet.
It's the most gorgeous thing I ever saw.
Is this your throne we're sitting next to, Santa? It's such a fancy-looking chair.
It is fancy, isn't it? Frankly, I wouldn't have had such an elaborate one with all these jewels and carvings, but the workmen in my factory made it for me last year on my birthday. And, of course, I wouldn't hurt their feelings for anything.
Would you mind, Santa, if I went down there where you have the electric trains? I hesitate to admit it, but I have a perfect passion for them. Never could resist anything mechanical.
That's not all you can't resist. Don't you let him do it, Santa Claus, or you'll find something else missing for sure.
Oh, pay no heed to this glorified bath mat, Santa. It's Paddy O'Cinnamon who needs watching. Why, he's had his eyes on those rubber elephants and toy giraffes ever since he opened them.
Indeed, and I have not. I was only staring at the big Christmas tree.
Now, boys, you must stop your quarreling. I think the best way for us to see all the toys is to take a little ride in my miniature train.
Gee willikers, Santa. Have you got a train you can ride in and everything?
I certainly have, Jimmy. And what's more, I'm going to let you drive it for us. Come along now.
Gee, that's swell. Did you hear that, Judy? I'm going to drive the train.
Oh, it's wonderful. Everything's wonderful. Hurry up, Cinnamon Bear.
I'm coming, Judy. Hey, Crazy Quilt, keep away from those toy steam shovels. You're apt to get your face lifted.
All right, here's the train, Jimmy. Right over behind the Christmas tree.
Gee, it's a pip. Why, it's just like a locomotive almost. How does it run?
Well, I'll show you in a minute. Now, Judy, you just get in the cab with Jimmy. I'll sit right behind you, and Paddy O'Cinnamon can share the back seat with Crazy Quilt.
Oh, I have to sit with him, huh? Too bad you haven't got a caboose, Santa Claus. That's where Crazy belongs.
Is that so? Well, I'll have
All right, everybody ready?
I'll say we are. Will you show me how to drive it now?
You bet I will, Jimmy. You see that lever?
Uh-huh.
You push that just as far as it will go. Then step on that pedal by your left foot. That starts the motor.
Like that?
That's right. Now the pedal.
Boy, oh boy, we're off.
Now, when you want to stop, Jimmy, just pull the lever back. You got it?
You bet. Hey, how you doing back there, Crazy Quilt?
Just so. Bit stuffy. You never know what you'll meet up with on a train.
If you're referring to me, applesauce.
Oh, Jimmy, look at the hundreds and hundreds of beautiful dolls.
Gee, and would you take a look at all those bicycles and scooters and the toy tractors and...
And there's the toy band we saw in the storeroom.
And over here's the military division. Some of the best tin and wooden soldiers we ever turned out. I'm very proud of them.
Just look at those roly-poly dolls. They remind me of that roly-poly policeman we met on the island of Obi.
Now we're passing the animal kingdom. Elephants and camels and monkeys on sticks. Animals of every description.
No Crazy Quilt Dragons, however.
I should hope not. One is enough.
Santa Claus!
Huh?
Santa Claus!
Oh, here's Nicky Fruitily back again. Stop the train, Jimmy.
All right, Santa Claus.
All right, all out now. Come on. Easy there. All out. Everything ready now, Nicky?
All ready, sir. You know what, Santa Claus?
No. What, Judy?
I was just noticing all the little dolls and soldiers and toy animals are standing perfectly still, just like they were waiting for something.
That's right, Judy. They are waiting for something.
What?
Well, just to make certain all my toys will know how to behave when I take them out into the world, I put them through a special rehearsal under the big Christmas tree. And while they're marching, my supervisors inspect them. So that's what my toys are waiting for, Judy and Jimmy. The Christmas Tree Parade.
A parade? Jiminy Cricket, Santa. Are we going to see it?
You are, Jimmy, and right this very minute. Oh, Major Muffy, proceed with the Christmas Tree Parade. Rat-a-tat-tat, the bugle has blown and summoned us into line.
Excuse me, Santa, but an important message came in while the parade was on.
Yes, Nicky. What is it?
Captain Tintop is waiting in your office.
Captain Tintop?
Yes, sir. And he's got the Silver Star.
Well, that's the nicest news Judy and Jimmy have heard in a long time. The Silver Star is safe and sound. At least, we hope it is. But I'm not going to congratulate anybody until I've seen Captain Tintop return it in person.
This is Chesterton Radio, your home for podcasts of works by G.K. Chesterton, plus drama, comedy, mystery, science fiction, big bands, and much more. The soundtrack to your Chesterton day at chestertonradio.com.
Cavalcade of America, presented by DuPont. The story that will be dramatized this evening on the Cavalcade of America, presented by DuPont, is the story of the Christmas seal. In our audience here at our radio theater is the woman who started the Christmas seal on its way in America 30 years ago, Miss Emily Bissell. We're happy to have her with us, and we would like to have you meet her at the end of our program. As our story is told this evening, we believe you will not only gain a better understanding of the work made possible by Christmas seals, but will make doubly sure that every Christmas card or letter or package you send carries at least one of these stamps. As our overture, Don Voorhees and the DuPont Cavalcade Orchestra bring us a selection of Cole Porter's music from the new motion picture Born to Dance. This evening, the Cavalcade of America brings you the story of a devoted Red Cross worker, her idea for Christmas seals, and the growth of a magnificent campaign for the better health of this country. We take you back to the winter of 1907 in the city of Wilmington, Delaware. Miss Emily Bissell, secretary of the local Red Cross, calls on a young widow.
Good morning, Mrs. Lang.
Oh, Miss Bissell, come right in. I was hoping you'd get here.
I got your note, and I came just as soon as I could. I'm on my way to a Red Cross meeting.
I know you're busy, Miss Bissell, but
Well, what is it, Mrs. Lang? Not bad news about Carrie.
No, it isn't that. The baby's fine. All she needed was to get to the country, to have fresh air and better food than I could afford to give her.
Oh, I'm so glad she's doing well, Mrs. Lang. You know, I think that 3 or 4 months in our pavilion will send her back to you greatly improved in health.
I hope so. Miss Bissell, the thing we're afraid of has happened.
Oh.
The doctor said yesterday that Johnny has one lung affected, too.
Oh, Mrs. Lang, I'm so sorry. Poor brave little Johnny.
All day yesterday, I tried to realize it. Miss Bissell, since my husband died 2 years ago, and my little girl got sick, and now my boy, it doesn't seem fair.
Now, you mustn't despair like this. After all, we were afraid of it. We didn't get Carrie away from this house here soon enough.
But he was always so strong. I never thought that he could...
Well, we'll get Johnny out to the pavilion right away. Today, if I can manage it.
Well, that's the trouble. Johnny can't go.
Why not?
The doctor said he couldn't. There's no more room, not a single bed.
Oh, why, that's ridiculous. Why, there may be some temporary mix-up out there, but there'll be a place for Johnny. I'll see to that.
Oh, thank goodness, Miss Bissell. I was sure you'd help me.
Why, that pavilion was started just to help poor people with lung trouble, Mrs. Lang. And it's going to cure Johnny, I know. Now, I'll go right down and see Dr. Wales.
Mom!
Oh,
Hey, Mom!
there he is now.
Oh, Johnny.
Oh, hello, Miss Bissell. I didn't know you were here.
Come here to me a minute, Johnny.
He shouldn't be up, but it's so hard to keep him put.
Miss Bissell, do you know what the doctor told me? He said I'm sick in my chest like Sister was.
Yes, I know, dear. And you'll have to learn to be quiet for a while. That's hard for a little boy, isn't it?
Well, it'd be easier if I could go out where my sister is.
And that's just where you're going. Well, I'd better get started for Dr. Wales' office right now. Goodbye, Johnny. You'll get back into bed now.
I will. I'll be waiting for you, Miss Bissell.
All right. Goodbye, Mrs. Lang. I'll hurry back.
Goodbye, Miss Bissell. Thank you so much.
Determined to see that Johnny is not denied the opportunity of entering the pavilion, young Miss Bissell hurries to Dr. Wales' office.
Good morning, Emily.
Good morning, Joe.
Well, I see by your face that you've heard the bad news.
Well, what is it? What's the matter, Joe?
Oh, the pavilion is closing in 2 months.
Closing? But it can't. What's happened?
No, there's no use blaming me, Emily, nor any of the 3 doctors working with me.
Oh, well, I'm not blaming you, Joe. But, well, there must be something you could do.
I barely support my own family. Like more of my time than I can afford to charity. I can't follow that with all the money I have.
No, of course not. But, oh, you've worked so hard to start the pavilion. It was such a generous thing to do. You taught this city how to care for its sick. Now, if it's simply for the lack of a few $100...
Oh, the lack goes deeper than that. When money is missing for a charity like this, it's only because the public lacks knowledge of the need. So many people consider tuberculosis hereditary and incurable and think nothing can be done about it anyway. So the worst pestilence in the world goes on unchecked.
Pestilence? Yes, it is a pestilence, Joe. I never thought of it just that way. I should have, though, because the Red Cross was organized to help in war, pestilence, and famine. Maybe they can do something.
Well, you're the secretary of the Delaware Red Cross. It's up to you to start something.
But, Joe, you mean you want me to go out and find money for you? To manage everything?
Yes. I've selected you to get this money, and I feel sure I'm right. It's only possible to stamp out a disease when people in general, not just doctors alone, join a health crusade to destroy it.
Well, I wish there was some way to end tuberculosis completely.
Well, since tuberculosis is preventable, there are ways. Teach people how to safeguard their health. That's a matter of public education, Emily. So perhaps when you've finished a local campaign, you could start a national one.
You're outlining a rather large program for me, Joe. And all this talk of prevention is too late to help people like little Johnny Lang.
Yes. The thing we have to worry about right now is our local problem. How to care for Johnny Lang and the others. So it's still up to you, Emily.
I can't think how to start going about getting money.
Well, you must have some ideas.
Oh, dozens, but none any good. I thought of fancy dress parties, or a raffle, or tag day. But the trouble is that people are so busy getting ready for Christmas that they haven't time to think of anything else. They're all buying presents and getting off their letters and their cards. And... Now, there's an idea.
You thought of something?
Did you happen to see an article in the Outlook recently by Jacob Reese of New York?
No, I don't think I did.
Well, it told about a plan used in Denmark for raising funds for charity. They issued government stamps, rather like postage stamps. And people buy them and put them on letters to help a children's sanatorium. You see, it supports the sanatorium's needs, and it spreads the message.
Stamps. Well, might be something in it.
Of course, the government doesn't run charities here. And besides, we need education more than money in this. Now, let me think. Let me put things together. Pestilence, the Red Cross, education, Christmas. Joe, I'm getting an idea. A big one.
Well, you decide about it, Emily. You're a sensible, energetic young woman. Any town that hasn't got a few women like you in it might as well go back to grass.
Oh, yes, but you ought to help me decide what...
Excuse me, Dr. Wales. Sam's been waiting 10 minutes to drive you over to that tonsillitis cake.
Oh, all right, Ruth. Emily, I have to rush off. Since this cold wave, you won't find a doctor in town who will have time to help you, but good luck.
Well, I don't know where I'd get money to print the stamps.
Borrow it from somebody.
And I suppose you have to design a stamp before you print it.
Do it yourself.
All right. I will. A holly wreath, the Red Cross, Merry Christmas. That's easy enough. Well, everyone in town will laugh and say I've got some silly notion that won't work. But I don't care what they say. I'll be too much haunted by what a failure will mean to Johnny Lang and the others. Maybe that fear will help me make it a success.
With the financial backing of two kindly friends, which amounted to only $40 and was never called on, Miss Emily Bissell designed a stamp and found a printer who would wait for his money. She wrote to Washington and got permission to use the insignia of the National Red Cross for her venture. On December 7th, the day the sale in Wilmington is to start, she pays an early morning call.
Johnny, are you in here?
Oh, Miss Bissell. Sure, I'm here. Mom's work.
Oh, maybe I woke you up. If I did, I'm sorry.
No, ma'am, you didn't. I was just lying here thinking. Gee, all the packages look like Santa Claus.
No, Johnny, these aren't Christmas packages. I'm on my way down to the post office. I've got some signs to put up and some boxes. Look here. Can you read this sign?
Christmas stamps, 1 penny apiece. Issued by the Delaware Red Cross to stamp out the white plate.
That's right.
What's this underneath, a poem? Put this stamp with message bright on every Christmas letter. Help the tuberculosis fight and make the new year better. These stamps do not carry any kind of mail, but any kind of mail will carry them.
Well, that isn't much of a poem, Johnny, but it was the best we could do in a hurry. And anyway, we won't be able to judge this poem until we see what it does for you.
Is it going to do something for me?
That's what I hope. You know, we saw the Postmaster General in Washington, and they're letting us sell these stamps, see? With the Red Cross and Merry Christmas on them. I can sell them right in the post office. Not at a stamp window, but at a booth in the corridor, all trimmed for Christmas.
Yeah, but what for?
To get money, so that you can go out to the pavilion, and so the others can stay there.
Just a little stamp.
Oh, dear. I'm afraid you feel about my plan like everyone else does, Johnny. You think poor Miss Bissell's got a bee in her bonnet.
No, I don't think anything's wrong with you.
Fine. That makes me feel better. The other people think I'm just plain... Well, never mind. I've got to go now, Johnny, so I'll just wrap up this sign again.
I'm very glad you came to see me.
I just had an idea for some reason that it would bring me luck if I stopped in here. And all day long, no matter how many people walk by these stamps with their heads in the air and don't buy any, I'll think about you and keep on trying.
Mom says you'll do your best.
Johnny, would you like to help me, too? Take one of these stamps, will you?
Sure. Should I tear it off?
That's right. Now, you keep it by you, Johnny. You might say a little prayer.
It's pretty looking. Merry Christmas.
If people will only buy them, that's what we'll have. A Merry Christmas.
Emily Bissell quickly found that she was trying to sell stamps to a public unprepared to understand them. But the newspapers were her best helpers. All the Delaware papers played up the stamps. Soon after the sale starts, she goes to Philadelphia and talks there to the Sunday editor of a paper that has interested itself in health campaigns.
I'm sorry I can't use your story on the stamps in our Sunday section, Miss Bissell. But this isn't exactly the season of the year that people want to be depressed. There's no connection between a terrible disease like tuberculosis and a great holiday like Christmas.
Oh, but there is. There is a real connection. Well, when people are filled with goodwill, they want to pass it on. I'm certain I'm right about that.
Well, even if you are, this stamp idea is a little unusual.
You don't have to explain. You think it's silly.
Well, perhaps it'll work. I don't want to criticize.
It won't work, and we have plenty of newspaper space. One of my business friends loaned me 2 men to prepare news material. And both of them say we must get more publicity if we can, or we can't sell enough stamps.
And I don't think our interest in ending disease is quite the same, Miss Bissell. You're working for a local charity. We're interested in a national campaign.
Yes, but these stamps could be used anywhere. Don't you see?
I'm afraid I don't.
Well, then I haven't explained it clearly. I'm not discouraged, though. You see, we're selling stamps at home. But the stamp is bigger than that. Perhaps the lives of so many people, some of them little children, depend on this. The stamp is a symbol, the banner of a great battle against death.
I wish I could do something. I'm sorry.
Well, I know you're anxious to get back to your work. Thank you for seeing me anyway.
Thank you for coming in. Goodbye.
Good day.
Can I do something for you, lady?
Oh, that office door says Mr. Hodges. Isn't he the one who writes The Optimist?
Sure. It's a good column, too.
Yes, I always read it. I'm an optimist myself. I'd like to talk to Mr. Hodges.
Oh, that's easy. Mr. Hodges likes to meet people who read his column. Hey, just a minute, please. Hey, Mr. Hodges.
Hello, Danny.
Lady out here in the hall to see you.
Why keep her in the hall? Show her in.
All right. Come right in, ma'am. Mr. Hodges ain't busy.
Well, oh, dear, I suppose I may as well. How do you do, Mr. Hodges?
Well, please come in, Miss. Danny didn't give me your name.
I'm Emily Bissell of Wilmington, but I won't take up your time. I happened to mention to the office boy that I liked your column so much, and I wanted to meet you.
Well, don't go away. Sit down. Any writer likes to talk with his readers, you know.
I'm a rather low-spirited public right now. I've just been asking a favor of your Sunday editor.
Oh, and didn't he give it to you?
No.
Well, perhaps I could help you some way, Miss Bissell.
Mr. Hodges, did you ever have an idea that was certain was perfectly wonderful and then find out that most people couldn't see it?
Well, maybe you haven't taken your idea around to enough people yet. Is it something you're writing?
Oh, no. No, it's a selling plan for a charity campaign. Would you like to read the outline I've written up about it?
Well, thank you.
I was afraid I'd get tongue-tied with the Sunday editor, so I put my chief arguments on paper. But I used them all and still...
A campaign against tuberculosis, huh? This paper's very much interested in that.
I know. That's why I made the trip up here to Philadelphia. You see, the campaign in Delaware is going well. Club women and the schools and the press are helping. But I thought that an influential paper was already interested in the subject, we could go far. Isn't my idea bigger than Delaware or Philadelphia? It's the new tuberculosis Christmas seal stamp.
Stamp? Could I see the stamp you've designed?
Yes, I've got some in my purse. There.
Thanks.
I'm trying to place it in the Philadelphia stores, but they're not enthusiastic. If I could just find one person who would agree with me on the possibilities of selling seals, I'd feel better.
You want to find just one person who believes in Christmas stamps? Well, you found him. Pardon me a second.
Danny. What is it, Mr. Hodges?
Go tell the editor I've got to see him right away.
What shall I
well, I saw the editor, Mr. Hodges.
You saw the Sunday editor. Now you'll see the managing editor. You see, Miss Bissell, we've been hunting for months for a way to dramatize the fight against tuberculosis. And we knew that when we found it, it would be some perfectly simple thing that we'd wonder, why didn't we think of that a year ago? Well, you found it. How many stamps have you got with you?
Why, about 10.
Well, we'll want 50,000 for Philadelphia.
50,000? But that's all we had printed.
Then you'll have to print some more. Hurry back to Wilmington. Telephone me tonight.
Oh, I will. Why, what grand news this is going to be for the people back home. And for Johnny Lang and the others. It's all the Christmas present they'll need.
Say, Mr. Hodges, the boss says, what's it all about? He's kind of busy.
Tell him to put everything aside. We found a way to help stand out tuberculosis.
The faith of a handful of people launched the Christmas seals to end tuberculosis. The first year's sales totaled $3,000. The next year leaped to $135,000. The sale of Christmas seals over the 29 years the campaign has been going on has amounted to $83 million. And the educational results? Tuberculosis has dropped from the first cause of death in this country to the seventh. In every city, there are scores of men and women who have Christmas seals to thank for their present happiness. This year, on a street in Wilmington...
Oh, just a minute, driver. I think I see someone I know going down the street.
You better get in the cab right now, mister. I haven't much time to catch your train.
Why, it is she. You wait here just a minute.
Okay.
Hey, ma'am. I beg your pardon. Aren't you Miss Bissell?
Why, yes, I am. Perhaps I ought to know you, but...
Oh, just look hard for a minute. Of course, I put on about 3 feet and over 100 pounds, but...
Why, Johnny Lang. Why, it must be 30 years since I've seen you. You don't look any more like little Johnny Lang.
I should think not. I'm as fit as a fiddle. Say, meeting you is great luck. I'm only in Wilmington for a day. Came east on a business trip.
Well, tell me, how did your family make out in California?
We've been fine. Mother's pretty well along now, you know, and Carrie's teaching school up in Seattle, and
fine.
Me, I've got a wife and 3 kids. Just an old married man.
Oh, John, I'm so glad to hear it.
Remember the day you came in to see me on the way to your first Christmas seal sale?
Oh, do I remember? I was never so thrilled in all my life.
And you gave me the first seal for luck.
And if you ask me, John, it was lucky.
It was lucky for me, all right. Every time I see a Christmas seal sale, I remember that it's going to be lucky for some other fellow. Why, I'll bet you're on your way now to the nearest stand to ask how the sales are coming on.
Well, as a matter of fact, John, I am. We hope for a good year. You know, John Lang, you ought to buy some seals.
No, you can't catch me there. I got them in my pocket someplace.
Oh, that's fine.
Honestly, Miss Bissell, I don't know how to express the thanks I owe you personally and the other people who helped me.
The people you're indebted to were the people who bought seals that first year, John. And we'll never know who they were.
Well, to them and to you and to everyone who helped, thanks.
You better hurry, sir. Better hurry.
There's my taxi driver. Reminded me I have to catch a train if I want to spend Christmas with my family.
Oh, well, you run on, John. Don't let me keep you. And give my love to your family.
Thanks.
And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. And good luck to your Christmas seals.
Millions have been brought back to health. Millions have avoided the tragedy of illness. But the work has by no means ended. Tuberculosis still takes more lives between the ages of 15 and 40 than any other disease. The national and local tuberculosis associations throughout the country continue their work untiringly, confident that the American public, which has brought them so far on the road to success, will continue in its faith and generosity.
now it gives me great pleasure to introduce the lady that made all these things possible, the organizer of Christmas seals as an increasing force for combating tuberculosis in America, Miss Emily Bissell.
I am delighted to be present this evening to hear the story of 30 years ago. I assure you that it is accurate. I have known many young Johnnies and Carries, once ill, who are now leading healthy, normal lives. Children of today are much less likely to be infected because of the educational work of the Christmas seal. It is the great symbol of prevention and cure. It is cutting down the death rate between the ages of 15 and 25. For this year, for the first time, no one under 19 has died of tuberculosis in Delaware. I want to thank personally every one of you who have helped us carry our campaign forward through this interesting dramatic sketch.
Thank you, Miss Bissell. This evening we salute those marchers in the Cavalcade of America whose work makes life healthier and thus happier for all. Any effort to save lives and guard the public health concerns everyone. Let us therefore review the advances that have been made. A baby boy born in 1850 could expect to live on the average about 38 years. Today's child can look forward to a lifespan of 60 years or more. How has this been done? One of the factors in lengthening our average span of life has been the remarkable forward strides of medical and surgical science. Another has been the achievements of chemical research in producing new and better medicines and other products that serve the medical profession. Doctors say that tuberculosis, for instance, can be cured in virtually every case if treated early. One reason the death rate from tuberculosis used to be so high was that doctors, with the methods of diagnosis then known, had difficulty in detecting its presence in time. The discovery of X-ray gave the medical profession an important new tool to aid in diagnosing tuberculosis and other respiratory diseases. By taking X-ray pictures of the lungs, doctors can detect the presence of tuberculosis in its various stages. DuPont research has contributed to this forward step by perfecting X-ray film that enables doctors to get clearer pictures of the human anatomy than ever before. Another important aid to physicians in diagnosing trouble is the group of products known as biological stains. These coloring compounds, when applied to samples of body tissue and the like, make it possible to see, by means of the microscope, tiny organisms such as streptococci that otherwise would not be visible. These stains thus enable doctors to diagnose a variety of diseases in time to check further ravages. Once we were dependent upon Europe for almost all the biological stains we needed, and when this supply was cut off during the war, our physicians and hospitals faced a grave situation. Today, DuPont supplies a variety of dyes for these important diagnostic aids. The DuPont company also makes chemical ingredients for many of these products that aid in the conquest of disease. Its contributions to the protection of human health give deep and lasting meaning to the DuPont phrase, better things for better living through chemistry. The man who had two careers, the interesting story of Samuel F.B. Morse, artist and inventor, will be the subject of our broadcast when next week at this same time, DuPont again presents the Cavalcade of America. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
This is Chesterton Radio, the true, good, and beautiful at chestertonradio.com.
Don't turn that dial. This is the right station if you want to hear about Jonathan Thomas and his Christmas on the Moon. Poor old Santa is in such a flurry, for right in the midst of the Christmas hurry, the bad Squeebublians, who hate Christmas joy, decided he couldn't distribute his toys. So they stole him away on a dark, stormy night. Oh, goodness knows he put up a good fight. And they took him away to Squeebubliland, where they tied him so tight he can't move a hand. Now, what kind of a Christmas do you think there can be without any toys to hang on the tree? But in spite of the fact that we're feeling so sad, we're putting our faith in a wee little lad who, with the man in the moon and a talking horse named Gorgonzola, are now on their course to Squeebubliland to find Santa Claus and punish those people for breaking the laws. But the way is dangerous and very long. They have to be careful so they don't go wrong. For the road leads through a forest so deep, they'll never wake up if they go to sleep. And through a country where giants and gnomes and brownies and goblins make their homes. Oh, it's lots of trouble, but Jonathan Thomas is not the boy who will break a promise. But the worst of it is, there's a wicked old witch who rules o'er a land called Rumpelstiltskin. She spends every day and most of the night thinking of things to fill them with fright. But I'm pretty sure they won't come to harm, for the good fairy queen gave them a charm. The little elf king, he gave them a key, which opened a door, and quick as could be, they found themselves standing in Looking-Glass Land before Queen Alice and her courtiers grand. Queen Alice said, "I know magic too. Here is a whistle, and I promise you, if you blow it once, you'll grow quite tall. If you blow it twice, you'll soon grow small." The old witch heard, and she laughed with glee. She said, "I'll turn myself into a tree. I'll plant myself in the lonely glade. They'll have to pass right through my shade." But Kermit the Hermit warned the three. He said, "That's a witch. It's not a tree." So they went their way to the pea-soup fog, and soon they were lost in the terrible bog. They couldn't go fast. They were slow as snails. Then they saw a dragon with 13 tails, who chased them until they were out of breath. Even the dragon was tired to death. But Dinty the keeper, who heard the uproar, invited them in and shut the door. He said, "I'll give you a piece of plum cake. Just feed the dragon and his stomach will ache. Now sit right still and have no fear. What happened next, we soon will hear."
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. This is the court of King Squeebuble of the land of Squeebubble and all of its people. Let there be quiet and no disorder, for the court of the king is now in order.
Well, what is the business of the day? Is there anyone here with taxes to pay?
There is one who has come, Your Majesty, who states she has great news.
Well, do tell.
Her Highness, the Duchess of Rumpelstiltskin, of magic, spells, and brews.
Speak, O witch of Rumpelstiltskin. What word have you heard that you bring to me?
If you listen, O king, you will very soon see.
Well, then, speak, and don't take a week. What is it you have to say? For I'm a very busy man, as busy as I can, and I haven't much time to play.
On the road which leads to this very fair land, there are 3 travelers, and very close at hand.
Well?
Gorgonzola, the horse, and Jonathan Thomas, and Mr. Man in the Moon. And you'd best take care lest you're caught unaware, for they'll be here very soon.
Why should travelers ever come here? And if they did, what have I to fear?
You're not as wise as a king should be, and for this service you should richly reward me.
What is this talk of travelers 3? It doesn't make sense at all to me.
I'm telling you all this news because they're coming to rescue Santa Claus.
Oh, is that so? Well, what do you know? They better have a care. I'll change their tune. I'll stop them soon. It's amazing to me that they dare. Sound the alarm. Call out the guard. Have soldiers surround the palace courtyard. Capture the fools as soon as they're near. For I say there shall be no Christmas this year. I'll post a reward of 10 pounds by for whoever captures them dead or alive.
Oh, mighty king, you're wiser than most anything. And though they've broken through my spell, they'll now learn a lesson, and learn it well. And now I trow I'll keep my promise. There'll be an end to Jonathan Thomas. Squim-dum-do, squim-dum-dee. How very much this pleases me. How very much this pleases me.
Well, I must confess I'm very vexed, and I wonder what's going to happen next. For Jonathan Thomas and the Man in the Moon will arrive in Squeebublians, and I think very soon. And I'm as worried as I can be. But maybe we better go look and see if there's anything wrong as they travel along. So in half a lamb shake, we'll quickly take a look at the Traveler's Tree.
Oh, this is the way we go. This is the way we go. So the winds do blow, and though it may snow, this is the way we go. So clippity-hop, we'll never stop till we reach Squeebublians. For we're brave as brave, and Santa will save from the terrible Squeebublians.
My gracious to goodness, Jonathan Thomas, we're almost there. But we'll have to take care. We don't get ourselves caught or by fiddlesticks. We'll be in a fix, for the Squeebubbles are a terrible lot.
When we get to the land of Squeebubble, Mr. Man in the Moon, how will we rescue Santa Claus, if you please?
It's a very good question that you ask. I'll have to admit it'll be quite a task. But we'll have to plan as best we can.
Do you think they got Santa Claus in jail?
Of course they have. I haven't a doubt. It's as hard to get in as it is to get out. Look, Jonathan Thomas. There are the walls of Squeebublians. The end of our journey is close at hand.
Oh, they got big walls around the city of Squeebubble. I wonder how we'll get through.
Well, I've been wondering the same thing, too.
Oh, what's that noise, Mr. Man in the Moon?
For gracious sakes. Now, I don't know. They're drums. But why are they pounding so?
Maybe it's the Squeebubbles and they're out looking for us.
Well, gracious sakes and heavenly day. What a very silly thing to say. You needn't worry or have any fear, for they don't know that we're even here.
I hope they don't, because I don't want to get caught by the wicked Squeebubbles.
Of course you don't, and neither do I. Say, those drums are getting louder. Oh, me, oh, my.
Oh, they're getting louder than 2 times 2. Maybe we better hide them first till we find out what they are.
That's a very good thought, and I think we ought. We'd better go this way. And gracious to goodness, and Jiminy Cricket. Run for your life, Jonathan Thomas. The Squeebubbles are coming.
Squim-dum-do, squim-dum-dee, look and tell me what you see. Oh, magic mirror on the wall, tell the truth and tell it all.
Oh, mighty witch of Rumpelstiltskin, this is a tragic day. You kept your promise, and Jonathan Thomas is now being salted away.
Oh, magic mirror on the wall, you're heading for an awful fall, and you'll receive a very hard bang if you don't stop that awful swang.
If it's words you want, it's words you'll get. So open your ears and get all set. Far to the north, in Squeebubble land, they've got the travelers, tied foot and hand. And this is the truth, and I haven't lied. And I hope and trust you're satisfied.
Squim-dum-dee, squim-dum-do. That's something I'm most glad to know. For now I can say I've kept my promise and put a stop to Jonathan Thomas. I've put a stop to Jonathan Thomas.
Oh, my goodness, I was afraid of that. For that wicked old witch usually gets her way. But now, what'll we do for Christmas Day? It makes me so mad I could almost shout. For how in the world will old Santa get out? And poor Jonathan Thomas and the man in the moon, they'd better escape, and very soon. But when they're put in jail and locked up so, how can they do it, I'd like to know. Oh, my goodness, it's such a worry. I wish I knew the rest of the story, don't you? Well, we'll find out what's going to happen in the next story of Jonathan Thomas and his Christmas on the Moon. So don't forget to listen, will you? I won't.
You are listening to Chesterton Radio at chestertonradio.com.